In the movie Superman, there's a famous scene where the Man of Steel spins round and round the planet to turn back time. While the idea is pure comic book fiction, if someone was to spin round the planet, it would indeed affect time, but just for them. Time is relative, which means that the rate time passes changes based on numerous factors, such as gravity or how fast you are moving. What this means is that astronauts up in space are aging slower than everyone here on Earth. But why? Einstein's theory of relativity created the idea that there is a fabric that permeates throughout the whole universe called space-time. Space-time doesn't stay the same. It can be warped by matter and energy. This is called time dilation. For example, time moves slower on Earth than it does in space because the Earth's gravitational force bends space-time. This is gravitational time dilation. If you were out in space away from Earth's gravitational pull, you would age faster than someone back home. As gravity is stronger the closer you are to the surface, it means your feet are younger than your head. And a person who lives on the ground would age slower than someone who lived at the top of a mountain. But the difference would be so tiny as to make it imperceptible. Time also moves slower the faster you are moving. This is velocity time dilation. In the twin scenario, if one twin remained on Earth while the other twin flew off in a rocket around space before coming back, the twin in the rocket would find upon returning that their Earthbound twin had aged more. This is exactly what happens when you have an atomic clock flying around in an airplane. It will record less time as having passed than an atomic clock that stays on the ground. So do we age slower in space or not? The answer depends on what you're doing in space. If you were floating in space above Earth and not moving, you would age quicker. But for those astronauts on the International Space Station, which whizzes around Earth at about 5 miles per second, they would actually age slower because their velocity time dilation has a bigger effect than their gravitational time dilation. A 6-month stint aboard the ISS would give you about 0.07 seconds of extra life. So, if you want to stay young relative to people on Earth, all you have to do is find a way to spin round and round the planet at incredible speed, just like Superman.